Engineering presentation. I would like to respectfully acknowledge the land that UBC has built its Okanagan campus on, which we learn, connect, and innovate is the unceded territory of the Silex Okanagan peoples. And the Vancouver campus is on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of the Musqueam peoples. I'm often asked, what is engineering? It seems like such a simple question, but the definition of what it means to be an engineer continues to evolve. At its core, engineering is the process of using science and math to solve problems. The discipline and profession is perfect for people who look at a challenge and ask the questions, why and how can I make it better? Today, while you participate in our open house, I invite you to ask questions, explore our engineering programs, and learn more about our community. UBC Engineering offers a caring community that emphasizes inclusivity and respect for all. That is often evident in the resources and supports that our students receive, whether in the classroom, lab, or elsewhere on campus. What you will discover is that our community, campuses, and our engineering programs are just the start of what can truly be a unique post-secondary experience for you. UBC Engineering is ranked as the #1 engineering program in Canada by Maclean's and is one program across 2 campuses. The Okanagan campus is in Kelowna, and the Vancouver campus is on the western side of Vancouver. The campuses are about a 4.5-hour drive apart or an hour flight apart. While the feel of each campus will be quite different, our engineering programs are equally prestigious and accredited. No matter which campus you start at, you'll start in the foundational first year to learn about the courses that are the foundation of your degree. These are chemistry, physics, math, and English. And then before continuing into your program and completing your degree at the campus. At the Okanagan campus, you'll choose the program you're interested in through a second-year placement process at the end of your first year. There are no caps on our civil, electrical, manufacturing, and mechanical engineering programs at the Okanagan campus. The School of Engineering is also excited to announce the launch of our computer engineering program starting in September 2024. Engineering students who have completed their first year in the UBC's Okanagan campus Bachelor of Applied Science will be able to apply for entry to this new discipline. At this time, we can say that there will be a limit on the size of the first cohort, and with any new program, we want to ensure that we will provide a quality learning experience, and the best way to do this is to build it with intention. More information will be made available in spring 2024. If you're planning to begin your first year in the Bachelor of Applied Science at the Okanagan campus in September 2024 or later, you can look forward to receiving more information about computer engineering throughout your first year. At the Vancouver campus, students will go through a second-year placement process, which is a competitive process to place you in the programs that you will rank. In addition, we highly recommend that you begin at the campus you plan to finish at. To learn even more about the programs from both campuses, you can explore the expo of our open house and watch the pre-recorded videos about each of our programs to prepare you for when you'll be able to ask questions live to a representative tomorrow, October 13th from 5:15 to 6:30 p.m. So even though you'll go into one of these programs after completing your foundational first year, practicing engineers are no longer strictly bound to their discipline or their field. A civil engineer often works across disciplines including materials, manufacturing, mechanical, and electrical, while collaborating with other engineers with different backgrounds and expertise. That variety is one of the most exciting parts of being an engineer. Ultimately, all engineers want to be change makers. They want to make the world a better place for our families, our communities, our countries, and for humanity. Engineers don't have to just build things. They can improve things, develop ideas, analyze ideas, and use their imagination and creativity to develop new and more efficient ways of addressing life's challenges. And in the end, that allows them to make a difference. I hope through our open house, you can uncover something that inspires you. One way that our students find their passion is by joining a design team where they can design and create projects outside of the classroom. The Innovate, Design, and Sustain Design team from the UBC Okanagan campus won second place at the U.S. Department of Energy Solar Decathlon held this past April. The Solar Decathlon is an international collegiate competition that challenges teams to design and build sustainable, efficient, and innovative buildings powered by renewable energy. The Innovate, Design, and Sustain team designed a 4-unit net zero house called River Crossing. The inspiration for this design was to address the needs of the Lytton, BC community due to the lasting impacts of the 2021 wildfires. The club is also working on developing a solar bench, providing students with the opportunity to have a sustainably powered study space while also enjoying the benefits of the outdoors. The club, in collaboration with UBC Vancouver architecture students, won third place for their solar bench design in the CPCI Wellness Bench 2023 competition. This year, the club is planning on working with campus planning for a 1-year installation approval to construct their solar bench on campus. There are also many other student design teams and clubs available at the Okanagan campus for you to gain that hands-on experience outside the classroom, as well as so many opportunities to expand your network. At the Vancouver campus, there are many teams innovating the future, including the UBC Rocket team, who is working to create a microbial fuel cell that is basically a battery that uses bacteria to generate electricity. Or UBC Aero Design that used Sitka spruce, a BC wood product, in their fixed-wing, electrical-powered, remote-controlled aircraft. In fact, there are over 30 design teams at the Vancouver campus that allow students to gain hands-on engineering experience outside of the classroom. It doesn't matter what engineering program you're in or which UBC campus you decide to attend, there are teams there for you.
Thanks, Marie. So in addition to all of the opportunities available to you as a student, engineering really sets you up for success in your career. Engineering provides a solid education in problem solving, analysis, and application of knowledge. So no matter what you want to do in the future, you have a great foundation to continue in engineering or whatever else it is that you're interested in. Lifelong learning is one of the graduate attributes that all engineering students gain. Engineers are improving the world around us, and to do so, they need to keep contributing to our knowledge and apply that knowledge to solve new problems. With a solid foundation, engineering can also open doors to graduate studies, law, medicine, and more. Our students, alumni, and professors are continuing to showcase the impact they can make on the world through their research and actions, like providing solutions of clean water to Indigenous populations in Canada that have been under boil water advisories for an entire generation, reducing food insecurity, making an impact on pollution and air quality, preventing and treating concussions, creating new medical devices, removing forever chemicals from our water systems, and so much more. Engineering is also a very well-paying job, and a recent study by Statistics Canada published in 2020 shows that the most top-earning graduates come from engineering disciplines when comparing bachelor degrees in Canada. When adjusted for age, institution, and graduation year, the median earnings for engineering degrees in the top 30 careers were between $70,000 and $120,000 for both men and women. UBC Engineering is working to reach gender parity in engineering. The only way that we do so is through our recruitment and outreach efforts to expose more girls and young women to the field of engineering through gearing up our Engineering Stories YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and through recruitment events for young women and gender nonconforming students, encouraging these students to apply to engineering. If you are a woman or a gender nonconforming student, then definitely stick around this evening at 7:30 till 8. We'll have the Women in Engineering panel that all women and gender nonconforming students are welcome to attend. Increasing underrepresented populations in engineering make our teams more diverse, and more diverse teams mean our students are better able to solve problems for the entire population, not just a fraction of it. There are so many opportunities awaiting you at UBC to help you figure out your interests and equip yourself with the skills you'll need to excel in your future career. We have had many alumni use engineering as the foundation for their careers, like Bowen Ma, who's the MLA for North Vancouver Lonsdale, and have lots of alumni who have gone on to work at some of the biggest companies like Tesla, Google, Apple, and so many more. From the very start, you'll be exposed to hands-on design projects where you work in teams with other first-year students. You'll continue to have courses year after year that continue to build on those project-based team learning experiences, culminating in your final year with your capstone design project, where you and your peers work with industry partners to solve real-life problems. Some capstone projects have actually become startups or have allowed students to secure jobs upon graduation. Students interested in research also have the opportunity to gain paid research experience, or you can participate in clubs like the Undergraduate Research Organization, or URO, which helps pair students in the areas of research that they're interested in. Later on in your degree, you can also customize your studies by choosing to pursue a minor, which is a secondary area of study. This is definitely not a requirement, but it will allow you to have a secondary focus of study if that's something you're interested in. You'll also have the opportunity to gain paid work experience through our co-op program, which you can apply into at the beginning of second or third year. It helps students gain work experience while getting paid really well and will give students a competitive advantage when they graduate. I know that most of our positions are located in Canada, but there are jobs located around the world in the USA, Germany, Japan, Australia, and more. Some of the top companies that hire our students include Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, Schneider Electric, and Cardium. You can check out the student experience panel to learn more about our students co-op experience or the co-op and career experience presentation, both happening on Saturday. You might also consider going abroad to work, research, or study in your third year of study as well. While school is a great way to explore your interests, we should also appreciate the power of community. By learning about the experiences of your peers, instructors, and UBC staff, you may be able to learn more about an interest or career path that you never even knew existed. We already mentioned our design teams, but there are lots of clubs to get involved with. Whether you want to join something related to engineering or something completely different, there are literally hundreds of options at UBC. We also have the Engineering Undergraduate Societies in Vancouver and the Okanagan campus, and our EIDEAs groups, which is Engineering Inclusivity, Diversity, Equity, Advancement for Students clubs for members of the 2S LGBTQIA+ community, women, Black, Indigenous, and Chinese students. So why engineering? Well, if you want to make a positive impact on our world, either by responding to a global crisis, impacting climate change, making our world more sustainable, or by designing technology to help people, engineering is the degree that will let you do that and so much more. Now that we've discussed why engineering may be a great career for you, we encourage you to attend the upcoming presentations tonight. We have Maximizing Your University Experience session coming back up right here on the stage, where you can learn more about how you gain hands-on experience and broaden your horizons throughout your degree. It'll be followed here on the stage by the Women in Engineering panel, and we'll also have the Advising Q&A session, which is located in the sessions, which you can get to using your left-hand navigation. That will be starting at 7:30 as well, where you can speak with an advisor from the Vancouver or Okanagan campus in case you have some really specific questions about kind of what your degree as an engineering student might look like. I do see a few admissions questions popping up again, and while we won't be able to answer all of those today, I do highly recommend coming tomorrow, Friday, October 13th at 4:45 p.m. Pacific time to our admissions presentation, which will answer probably most, if not all, of your questions, and we'll also have a few minutes to answer some questions then as well. Tonight, you can continue to use the event chat to ask our students questions about their student experience. Maybe you want to know about what they like about their program. Maybe you want to know what design teams, or if they've been on co-op, or what they do for fun on campus. We have students from both campuses that can answer those questions for you in the event chat. And right now we have time for a few more Q&A questions. So continue to upvote each other's questions. We'll go by popularity for the most part. So please vote those. We have a few minutes to answer a few questions now. All right. So it looks like there was a question. Is it easy to switch between campuses if you decide that you'd like to choose a program in the other campus? Marie, do you want to answer that one?
I think that's a really great question. So, as we mentioned earlier, we do recommend that students try to stay at the campus that they start at. And that is because even though there is an opportunity to transfer between our campuses, it is a very competitive process, and there's a limited number of seats to transfer. So, our recommendation is please try to start at the campus you'd like to stay at. But if you decide you would like to try to transfer, come talk to an academic advisor in your first year, and they will be able to review that process with you.
Perfect. What is the next question I have? So I see, do both Okanagan and Vancouver campuses offer the same differentiated programs in engineering? So why don't I flip back all the way to one of our first slides? We do have programs at both campuses. So at the Okanagan campus, we have the programs listed on the screen here, with the caveat that computer engineering will be starting in September 2024 at the Okanagan campus. And then we also have 14 different programs at the Vancouver campus that students can choose from. Now, between both of these campuses, there's also some options. So if you are interested in something like biomedical engineering, for example, there are still some ways to study or focus on biomedical engineering at the Okanagan campus as well. And there's a few other options at the Vancouver campus that you can do some kind of additional areas of focus, whether that's in something like an option or kind of choosing the technical electives that lead you to kind of pursue a certain path. So something like aerospace, there's an option at both campuses. Biomedical, there is the option at the Okanagan campus to do that in mechanical and electrical. Is that right, Marie?
Mechatronics.
Biomedical option?
Biomedical, yes, that's correct. Mechanical and electrical.
Perfect. So lots of different options for you to kind of look at.
So I see there's some questions here about co-op as well, Erin. There is a co-op program that's available for engineering students, and it's across both campuses. Students can typically apply for that co-op program in second or third year, but we're not going to say too much more because I think we're going to be talking about more of that in our next presentation. So just hold tight a little bit more for those maximizing your experience type of questions within our program. Erin, I don't know if you want to maybe answer the question about student athlete support for engineering students.
Yeah, so for anyone that is a student athlete on our varsity teams, I would recommend popping into the advising Q&A starting at 7:30 because you will be able to speak with advisors who are the ones that work most closely with these students. But definitely there is additional support for students who are on varsity teams, and we do work with students to ensure that we can try and accommodate your practice times and that you're still able to take the courses that you need to, and that you're going to be able to manage all of those pieces. So definitely working with our advisors is how those students are kind of best supported. And like I said, you can talk to one of those advisors that you would be talking with later on today at 7:30 in the sessions. Maria, I see another question about the caps on programs at the Okanagan campus and wondering about computer engineering. Do you want to address that one?
Yes, thank you. So the computer engineering program is just starting in September 2024. So we do have a limit on the size of our first cohort, and that's to maintain the quality of the program. So for that first cohort, there will be a limit on the number of seats into that program. However, our other 4 programs, which is mechanical, electrical, civil, and manufacturing, do not have caps.
Perfect. Thanks, Marie. I'm just looking to see if there are any other questions that we can answer. Here's a great question. So is entrance into a design team grades-based? So that's a great question. We do have students starting on design teams as early as their first year. There may be an interview of some sort involved, but they're not going to look at your grades or anything like that. they don't have access to that sort of information unless you choose to share it with them. But there usually is going to be info sessions that you can sign up to attend. You can then go to multiple teams info sessions. Maybe you want to try out a few just to see which one you're most interested in. They may have some applications. I know some teams have also started up some kind of mentorship pieces. So BEST is the biomedical engineering student team, and they have sort of a mentorship where you can kind of join and be mentored by someone joining the team, so you can kind of get really involved in that. But a lot of them, it'll depend on what position you're looking for. There's lots of different sub teams within the teams as well. So you can always chat with them. The great part is that there are on Imagine Day, which is your first day at the Vancouver campus, classes are canceled and you get to go and experience all of these great orientation pieces. One of the things that we have is that most of our design teams will be set up down Main Mall, so you can walk around and see some of their projects and chat with them and learn more about their design teams. At the student experience session on Saturday, I know that several of those students are on design teams and clubs from both campuses. So definitely would be a good one to check out and learn more about their experiences in design teams as well. Great question. Just checking to see, we have time for maybe one or two more questions. So one question I think kind of relates to the last session we had, our research spotlights. Does engineering at UBC focus on essential needs like food production, water distribution? I see mainly a focus on manufacturing, housing, and creating products to sell. So I would say that what engineering offers is really so varied and so diverse. The research spotlights tonight were very focused on a very specific topic relating to societal impact. So you would have seen research spotlights that are very specific to impacting our society. We have, as I mentioned, 14 programs at the Vancouver campus. We have soon to be 5 programs at the Okanagan campus that are going to be so varied. And what I think is really important, what students really discover in their foundational first year, is that they're able to learn about all of these different programs, learn about the different areas within all of these different programs, so that they can decide kind of which path they want to take when choosing their program to start in second year. There are lots of programs that you can go into that can still lead you into multiple paths as well. So you could go into something like mechanical engineering, but from that, you can still work in biomedical. You can work in the aerospace field. You could work in oil and gas. You could work in something related to HVAC systems. So it's one program that you're taking, but there's so many paths that you can take from that. And so it's really up to you of where you want to take that and what you want to do with that. Co-op is something great that lets you get that work experience in those different fields. But even your technical electives that you'll get to take throughout your degree can help you kind of choose what it is that you want to do with that program.
We have a sort of a similar question, Erin, about are there more research opportunities at UBC Vancouver or UBCO, and how do those opportunities differ? So I just thought we could address that question because there are opportunities for research at both campuses, and there's amazing researchers doing very innovative, cutting edge research at both campuses. The great thing is that you can get involved in research as an undergraduate student. There are different scholarships you can apply for, different types of positions in these research labs, volunteer and paid positions. So what I would do is, or what I recommend students do, is if they're interested in research at either campus, start looking at what labs exist, what research do they do in those labs, and then approach the professor and chat with them and see what opportunities are available for them and their labs for you to be able to volunteer or join in another type of role.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. We had lots of great questions coming in. I'm so glad that we got to answer some of them. Again, you can continue to answer any of those questions that are really related to the student experience in the event chat today. And our chat moderators are there to help answer that. So again, maybe you have questions about design teams, joining a design team. Maybe you have questions about research that maybe if any of them have been involved in. Maybe you have questions about what their classes look like. You're welcome to continue to use the event chat. We also, on our website, if you go to the engineering.ubc.ca website, you can view our chat with a student feature where you can meet with all of our engineering ambassadors to ask them questions about their student experience. It'll say if they are involved in design teams, it'll say if they have been parts of different clubs or what program they're in, or even what country they're from. So you can check that out on our website, engineering.ubc.ca. And you can use the chat with a student feature. So that's it for us on the stage right now. We'll be coming back in just a couple of minutes with the Maximizing Your University Experience presentation right here on the stage. And then just after that, we'll be starting up the Women in Engineering panel on here on the stage. And we'll also have the advising Q&A starting at 7:30 in the session. So stay right here. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you, everyone.